What is self-love and how do you earn it? How do you love yourself? Hi, my name is Mike and I'm a former New York City bouncer. I spent many years working in nightclubs in New York and in the biggest nightclub in the city as well. And it was a great experience. I went through a lot of tough stuff, but came out of it and went to school, finished school, and got a job in a top consulting firm. And I've been going through a personal journey recently where I'm switching into entrepreneurship. I make great money. I'm very happy with what I've done. But now I'm becoming an entrepreneur and I'm also working on my body and working on truly and actually loving myself. And I want to talk with you about self-love and my experience with it. So, do you love yourself? Is a question you can ask, right? How can you love people around you? How can you love a girl, your spouse, your girlfriend, your wife? How can you love that person if you don't really love yourself? And it starts with you looking in the mirror first. You look in the mirror and you see that person staring back at you and you say, do you love that man? Do you love that person staring back at you? And I can tell you, I for sure did not for many years. I looked at myself, I was way out of shape. I looked haggard, tired. My face was really fat and round. I had this double chin thing going on, and I was not happy with what I saw staring back in the mirror. Then you also have to ask yourself, do you love the way you treat yourself? Do you love waking up hungover once a week, twice a week, a couple times a week, every day? Waking up hungover because, as in my case, as in many of your cases, you're drinking every night, a little bit or too much, not getting enough sleep, not getting enough restful sleep, not eating well. Are you happy with constantly having, ulcers in your stomach or too much acid? You're constantly taking Tums and Pepcid and all kinds of stuff to try and keep down the acids and the sourness in your stomach because you're drinking too much or your diet is complete shit. You're eating fried foods and garbage all the time. Do you love the way you treat your bank account? Your money's constantly gone because you don't have any financial discipline. You don't have any money in your account because you're constantly buying fast food. You're constantly Uber eating because you're too fucking lazy to go out and buy groceries and learn how to cook or just cook yourself. I mean, you're too lazy to go out and buy to buy a rotisserie chicken for $5. You could buy a rotisserie chicken for $5 at Walmart or Costco or Sam's Club or whatever, right? And you could chop up that chicken into pieces and you can eat that chicken over the course of a week. And so many of you are so lazy you won't even do that because it's too much work to sit there and pick the meat off the bones and everything. Are you proud of what you do to yourself? Are you happy with the way you treat yourself, you treat your bank account, you treat your home, you treat your car? If you have a car, are you happy with the way it looks? It looks like crap. There's, wrappers in there, there's trash, you don't wash it, you don't clean it, you don't take good care of the oil and the engine. Or your home, is it dirty, is it messy? Every time you come in, there's just crap laying everywhere, piles of laundry, right? So, are you happy with the way you treat your love life? Instead of having a good sexual relationship with your spouse, you're watching porn and hiding, late nights or early mornings, just pleasuring yourself instead of having a good, healthy relationship. Or you're addicted to porn and anime and all this weird stuff instead of actually going out and dating and trying to find somebody, and you're just living by yourself. So, are you embarrassed by the way that you talk? By the way you talk to other people? By the way you communicate with other people? You feel awkward just talking to a cashier when you go check out with the groceries? Let alone not even talking about girls, right? Are you the weird, embarrassed, one in your group of friends, if you have any? So, how these are the things that you can identify and say, do I actually love myself? And in order to love yourself, like anything else, you have to earn it. You have to earn it. And the way you earn loving yourself is not by fixing all of these things, by fixing them, and then that's it, they're done. So you're fat, you're ugly, you don't like the way you look in the mirror, so you get yourself in shape, and then you can love yourself. Or you're really awkward, so you watch videos, you try and emulate, maybe some celebrity. You want to be like Michael Jordan, you want to be really cool and all that. So you learn how to be like him, you talk like him, and now you're not so awkward anymore. Now you're cool. Now you can be proud of yourself. Now you can love yourself. Or you want to quit drinking, so once you quit drinking, now you can love yourself. That's not the answer. The answer is putting yourself on the journey to earning that self-love, to earning that end outcome that you want. So if you want to be better financially, you want a better job, you start going to school because you say, I want to actually have a career. I don't want to keep working some minimum wage job like I was parking cars 6 years ago. Guys, 6 years ago, I was a fucking valet. Okay, I was making $14 an hour with tips. That was my fucking income. Now look at where I live. I make way more than that. And I wasn't happy with where I was, right? I wasn't happy with myself. I'm a fucking, 30-year-old guy who's a fucking valet. That's not very great. It was very fucking embarrassing to be in your 30s and making $14 an hour. But I became proud of who I was. I was a man who was driven to getting to a six-figure income, to getting a high-paying corporate job, to getting into what I ended up doing, which was strategy consulting with a top firm. I was very proud of knowing what my end result was going to be. I had two directions. I was either going to go into investment banking, or I was going to go into strategy consulting. Those were the two directions that I wanted to go, and I was working my way towards it. So yeah, I was a valet. I was driving around parking cars, but I was also studying for exams because I was going to school full time. I identified myself first and foremost as I wouldn't even say I identified myself as a student, right? I identified myself as somebody who was going to be a consultant. I identified myself as somebody who was going to be an investment banker. And finding my identity in that, in the end result of who I was going to be, made me love who I was. I was very proud of who I was, and I just radiated that enthusiasm, that excitement. I motivated people all around me to become better people because I knew exactly where I was going and what I was going to do. I was very proud of that, very motivated by it. So even now, I don't exactly have the body that I want. I'm not as jacked as I want to be. I still want to get bigger, right? I want to look a little bit better. But I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of being the guy who's in the gym every morning at 4 fucking a.m. I'm so proud of that fact because it's a hard fucking thing to do. But I'm proud that I'm strong enough mentally. I've become strong enough mentally to be in the gym at 4 o'clock. I'm proud of going there, doing an hour of lifting, and then running 10 miles after that. I do a fucking 10-mile run in an hour. I run in the gym 10 miles. I'm so proud of being that person. But before I got to that point, before I got to the 4 a.m. workout, I was working out at, 10 o'clock in the morning, just kind of somewhere in the middle of the day. I would work out for 10 minutes every day for like a month. But back then I was proud of making that step and saying that someday I'm going to be that 4 a.m. crazy motherfucker who's going to have a great body, who's going to have incredible endurance and incredible ability to run 10 miles a day. I was proud of becoming that fucking person. And you can get on that journey too. You don't have to say, I'm proud because I stopped drinking. I quit drinking. I'm sober now. No, you can become proud of becoming that person who will become sober by working on it now. Start working on it now. Whether it's sitting down and coming up with a plan and writing something down, or you actually take action and maybe say, you know what? maybe instead of what helped me, right, was switching from hard liquor to actually light beers. I know it sounds stupid, but I started drinking light beers, and you know, no matter how many of those you fucking drink, you can't get wasted. I tried. I really fucking tried. And before you know it, it's already 5 a.m. and you're still not drunk. So start with that, you know? If you can become proud of saying, I'm making a decision to become sober. I'm making a decision to start thinking of a way to make more money, whether it's starting a business, whether it's taking on a second job. Remember, I was valeting cars. I also had 2 other jobs. You could do the same thing. I had a business, I was valeting cars, and I was also tutoring at school. I was working as a tutor. You can do the same things. So you can become proud, and you can love yourself. You can actually experience that self-love by making a decision to earn that self-love. And by working on earning that self-love, you can actually love yourself like I did, like I do. So good luck. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments, you know, and we can talk about it. So good luck, and thanks for watching the video.